XRP just did something it has not done in over a year, and almost nobody is talking about it yet. While everyone was busy watching Bitcoin flirt with $64,000, Ripple quietly walked into a room full of European regulators and walked out with the one piece of paper crypto companies have been fighting for since 2019. A full license. Not a preliminary approval. Not a "we'll get back to you." A full crypto asset service provider license under Europe's MiCA framework. And it doesn't just cover one country. It covers all 30 nations in the European Economic Area at once. Think about what that actually means. One license, 30 countries. Ripple can now offer regulated crypto payment services across the entire EEA without applying country by country. That is not a small technical update buried in a press release. That is Ripple building a regulatory fortress while the rest of the industry is still filling out paperwork. And here's the part that should really get your attention. This comes just days after the MiCA transition period fully ended on July 1st. Ripple didn't just get in before the deadline. They got in with the strongest possible license type, right as 280 other firms are still scrambling to get authorized under the new rules. Ripple now holds more than 75 regulatory licenses globally, including registration in the UK. That is not the profile of a company hoping to survive. That is the profile of a company positioning itself to dominate. Now let's talk price, because this is where it gets interesting. As of today, XRP is trading right around $1.09 after touching highs near $1.12 in the last 24 hours. Market cap sits at roughly $68 billion, keeping XRP locked in at the number 6 spot among all cryptocurrencies. Trading volume alone in the last day was over $1.5 billion. This is not a dead asset. This is a coin with real money moving through it every single hour. But here's the tension. XRP is still stuck below its major moving averages. The 20-day average sits near $1.11. The 50-day average is up near $1.20. Price has been fighting a falling channel since last summer, getting rejected at the same resistance zone again and again. Every single bounce has failed at roughly the same ceiling. And yet, underneath that price chart, something is shifting. On-chain data is telling a completely different story than the candles. Exchange outflows have exploded. Just weeks ago, roughly 40 million XRP was leaving exchanges. That number has now tripled to over 120 million XRP pulled off exchanges in a matter of days. When large amounts of a coin leave exchanges that fast, it usually means holders aren't planning to sell anytime soon. That is accumulation behavior, not panic behavior. At the same time, spot XRP ETFs have now posted 8 straight weeks of positive inflows. Cumulative inflows are sitting near $1.5 billion. Institutions are not walking away. They're building positions quietly while retail traders stay nervous on the sidelines. So you have 3 things happening at the exact same time. Ripple just secured the strongest regulatory foundation in Europe that any crypto company can get. Whales are pulling XRP off exchanges at a pace nobody expected, and ETF money keeps flowing in week after week without pause. Meanwhile, the chart is still trapped. Resistance sits just above $1.10, and above that, the next real test is near $1.18, then $1.22. If XRP finally breaks through that zone, the setup opens the door toward $1.50 and beyond. But if buyers can't hold the $1 support zone, we could see a slide back toward 93 cents. Here's why this moment actually matters more than most of the noise you'll see this week. XRP has historically had a strong track record in July, with average monthly returns north of 10% since it launched, and multiple years posting gains well above 30%. History doesn't guarantee anything, but it does explain why traders are watching this month so closely. Right now, XRP sits at a crossroads between a fully regulated global payments future in Europe and a price chart that still hasn't caught up to that reality. Regulation is done. Institutions are buying. Whales are accumulating. The only thing left is the breakout. If XRP clears $1.10 with real volume, this entire conversation changes fast. If it fails again, we're right back in the same range we've been stuck in for months. Either way, the next few candles are going to tell us a lot more than the last few months did. Make sure you're subscribed to Crypto Shockwave, because the next few weeks could decide which direction this breaks.